I'm going to make some pork stir fry today. This is a super easy dish. We do it pretty frequently, and it only has a few ingredients. It's not that complicated, and it goes relatively quickly. So let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to do is get a pork tenderloin, or here in the UK, we call it a pork fillet, cosmopolitan stuff. First thing you want to do, get some of this silver skin off. This is just kind of a chewy membrane. So we're going to fast forward and go like this. Okay, so that's all kind of taken care of. I don't really get too anal retentive about that. Like, there's still some stuff in here. I don't really care that much. So now what we're going to do is prep this for a little quick marinade. It's not a very complicated one, but you do need to cut this pretty thinly because this is going to be something that cooks really, really fast once you get it into the pan. So just kind of like slice it into, here, I'll just show you. So something around there, something like that. So like small little medallions. And I kind of just sort of eyeball this marinade. I don't go too crazy with it. It's basically soy sauce, sesame oil, pepper, and some MSG. That's pretty much all I do. So I will slice this up, and here we go. Okay, so what you did not see off camera was I washed my knife, because this is all covered in pork. You don't want that salmonella all over you. So what we have all of our sliced up pork. We're just going to start adding a little bit of marinade to the party here. So we're just gonna do a couple of tablespoons of soy sauce. And I don't tend to use a ton of sesame oil in this. A little goes a long way for me, so I'm just gonna do like a quarter of a teaspoon. And then we're going to put a bunch of pepper in here, and I would just go crazy with this. It kind of depends on how much you like pepper, but I go nuts. So I think that was around 30 grinds. I do something like that. Okay, so there's that. We have a little container of MSG here, and we'll just do just a little bit, not too much. One additional thing that I'll put in here occasionally is a little bit of baking soda, and that sort of helps kind of tenderize the meat a little bit. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on there. Not too much. That's somewhere just shy of a teaspoon. And then what we'll do is we'll just kind of mix this up, and then we'll just set it to the side and then get started on the rest of the stuff. Okay, so now we will prep the veggies while that meat marinates. We're gonna use some spring onions, green onions, salad onions, scallions. There's so many different names for this thing, but that's a green onion. Okay, and then we'll use some celery. We're gonna use some chili peppers. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use 2 or 1 on that front. I was gonna use some of these dry peppers. I think these are d'arbol. Okay, so I might use these. It depends on how hot these are going to be. I'm gonna use half of this onion. I'm gonna use a little garlic, and I'm gonna use a little ginger. So let's get chopping. Okay, so this is ready to go. So we'll take a look at the meat. Bam. We'll just do another quick kind of toss. That meat's going to take a little bit longer to marinate, so we're going to do the rice, but I'm going to do that off camera because it's super boring. Okay, so now we're over here in this camera. Whoa, magic. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to toss a little oil in here, put it up on a very high temperature, and let it get rip-roaring hot, and then go from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this guy on. And we are wide open there. You can use any high heat oil. You can use sunflower oil. You can use canola if you're in the States, whatever. I'm gonna use just a mishmash of stir fry oil. So it's kind of like a little amalgamation of sunflower and a little bit of ginger and garlic extract because I'm lazy. I would chop up more garlic and ginger, but that would be way too much work. So I'm not gonna do that. Yeah. All right. We will toss this around, get it all nice and evenly coated. What you're looking for is basically getting this oil to start smoking just a little bit. All right, you can start to see that now we're getting a little bit of smoke. So it is time to get some meat in there. Now, when this goes in, you're not gonna wanna move it too much. Like you'll put some in, kind of separate it a little bit, and then don't move it around too much because you wanna get a nice sear on there. So we're going to do about half of this meat in here now. Hey, out with it. Ah. Okay, so now we'll just let that set for a little bit. All right, we'll go ahead and give it a little flip. So you got a little bonus there. We have a little bit of ignition on fire, and that's igniting some of the oil molecules, and that'll actually bring some nice smoky flavor to it. Okay, that's pretty close to being done. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull that off. You don't wanna cook it all the way through because it's going to reheat whenever you add this back into the vegetables. So we'll go ahead and toss this over here. Add just a little more oil to it. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off, and then we'll get started on the vegetables. So here we go. We're smoking, we're ready to go. So onions first. And this is gonna go pretty damn quickly. So we're just gonna kind of split up some of the onions here. I'm gonna toss it like one more time, and then I'm gonna add the rest of, well, at least the celery and the red peppers. You can kind of see that it's picking up some of this stuff at the bottom of the wok. That's great. Okay, here we go. Peppers, celery. Next up will be the scallions. Go ahead and toss those in. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put the ginger and the garlic in all at the same time. And that is not gonna go long at all. Kind of just wanna go until like just a few seconds because you're gonna start smelling the garlic and the ginger. And that's kind of what you're waiting for. That's smelling great. And then I'm going to add the meat back in. Okay, While this is finishing off, I'm going to take a lime, and we're just going to add a little bit of lime juice to this. We're going to kill the heat. Let's give that a taste. It's very hot, just so you know. Okay, that's about ready to put on plates, or in this case, I think we're gonna do bowls. What I'm gonna do, I like to add just a little bit of soy sauce at the bottom. I'll be right back. I'm gonna put some rice in here. Yoink. All right, so now we have some nice steaming rice, and we're going to put the stir fry atop. Okay, so there's that, and then we will take the remainder of our garnish, kind of sprinkle it about, put a little lime wedge on there. There you go. And that's it. It's like a, I don't know, a black pepper pork stir fry, something like that. You can also throw like some sriracha on here. You can do whatever the hell you want. Stir fries are super easy. They're super versatile. You can kind of toss a whole bunch of different stuff in there. But this is a good one, and I hope you try it. All right. Thanks a lot.